I love being a Black woman. I do. And I love that it's Women's History Month. And this is the International Day to celebrate women. And I am excited to celebrate Black women billionaires during Women's History. Hello, I'm Dr. Venus, your hot mess millionaire. And I am so excited about this conversation because we never talk about Black women billionaires. It's almost like we don't believe it's possible, right? And no one says it. Like we talk about billionaires, but we don't talk about Black women billionaires, okay? Unless it's Oprah, all right? But the truth of the matter is, there are Black women billionaires in the world, okay? And there have been Black women billionaires in the world, even historically. Now we would have to translate the money so you could see how that works because what the dollar was worth in the 1900s, it changes over time. Okay. And so, literally from, oh God, let me get it right. From Anna Malone to Madam C.J. Walker, if we translated their money, billionaire bitches. Okay. But I want to talk about the current ones as well. But before I get all up into the money of it, I want to share with you a couple of opportunities. Okay. First things first, for all of my Black women creatives, enterprising entrepreneurs, influencers, writers, screenwriters, filmmakers, art makers, mamas, teachers, healers, anybody who got some content, who about to make their paper, you need to join my interest list for my new upcoming startup. Okay, and its focus is for us. It's our voice, our way, our terms. Okay. And so I have a link here. If you're a content creator and you want to make paper, you flip it 5 ways, I got you. I got you, girl. I got you so good. All right. But you have to get on the list to get the link for the reveal. Okay. So please go look at the notes and opt in. Go click the link and put your name, email, and phone number in the thingy thing so you can be kept abreast of the latest iteration of the app that I'm creating for Black women, by a Black woman, built by brilliant Black men who love their mamas. Okay, so make sure you do that. Also, if you haven't already, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to the Hot Mess Millionaire podcast. Woot woot, woot woot, woot woot, and also join the Hot Mess Millionaire Facebook group. Girl, you want to talk about some serious networking? Network like a rich person, girl. Network like a mogul. Join us over in the Hot Mess Millionaire Facebook group, and every Saturday you have an opportunity to shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. And really, what we're out to do is we're not the thing, and this is a billionaire moment. We're not out to sell to each other. We're out to network with each other to get to each other's networks. Okay? So we're not doing the one-off things. Y'all should surrender that. That's going to take you forever. All right? But when you get down with someone's network, then you have access to the people they have access to. And that is a wonderfully leveraged way of doing business. So we do that in the Hot Mess Millionaire Facebook group on Saturdays. But you got to get in order to play. Okay? So please go ahead. That's in the notes as well. And I think, let me tell you something else I just did. Oh, God, I am feeling myself. Have you ever got so excited with yourself you had to kiss yourself twice? Mwah, mwah. That would be me right now. Okay? I just created in Clubhouse, so Android people do not fight me on this. I didn't do it. Talk to Clubhouse. I can't help it that they're doing something with, you got to be an iPhone person. That's not mine, so don't get mad at me, okay? But I just created I created a club in Clubhouse, and of course it's called Billionaire Black Women, because that's what I'm on, right? I'm committed to birthing 100 Black women billionaires in the next 5 years through technology and content, okay? And it is glorious. So I'm going to invite you to join me there as well, because I'm going to be talking, girl, I'll be talking shit about this for a minute, because we can do it. And I want to talk to you about 4 Black women billionaires today so you can understand that we're closer than we think. Okay. And it's very exciting. And the way they did it is not the way that I'm planning to do it, but the fact that it's been done is important to know. And it's a part of our history. We talk about Black history, we talk about slavery, but we don't talk about billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Specifically the black women. There are black men, and I included some resources that include black men, so I don't want you to feel like I'm hating on the brothers. Nope. I'm just celebrating the sisters. Okay? And I really chose to focus on Black Women Billionaires for Women's History Month intentionally because right now, white people are doing white people shit again. They can't help it, and I'm just not interested. Okay? So you know the stuff they're saying. so, so Megan had to go through some stuff because she married the prince, and they're like, "Oh, what color is your baby? Worry about the color of your baby. Bitch, is she gonna be black? Her mama black. She got that's off the room stuff. Look it up if you don't know. I don't want to talk about that. And then, oh God, Amanda's being racially profiled, given even though she just did this amazing poem at the inauguration. So she's a black woman, a young black woman going through stuff historically we've gone through. And then they're talking about George Floyd trying to find a jury that hasn't seen the footage of his execution. It's just like, white people, stop. They do this. And it's just, and the thing is, it's almost, I have to keep reacclimating myself to being this. They just white. It's white people shit. It is not yours to deal with. This is how they do. They can't help it. It's like a fucking virus. They can't help but just go out and pollute things that aren't even necessarily be polluted. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to deal with them. So I'm going on the positive because I'm staying well. I'm staying in my peace. I'm staying in my joy. I'm staying in my lane. Thank you, Lord, so much for other things to talk about. Thank you, God, for an extraordinary tribe that rolls with me hard in the paint no matter what. Thank you, Jesus, for giving me something to say that doesn't have me curse white people out today. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I am practicing my gratitude, and this is what we're doing. So I don't get pissed off with white people and start talking shit. They're not going to steal my joy. So back to us. What I want to do today is I want to talk to you a little bit about the history of Black women and money. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to, I forgot to tell you, please share, tag, post. Share, tag, post. Share, tag, post, share, tag. Okay? Sharing is caring. When you share, you're letting somebody else know that you love them and you want them to be fed and taken care of. So please share. Tagging, same thing. You want to have the people around you get fed so you can talk to them about the concepts that we talk about. Because what we're talking about, a lot of people don't talk about. In fact, very few people are skilled to talk about it. That's what I do. Okay? So make sure you do that. Make sure you make a comment. I want to hear from you. Leave reviews. I was impressed. I'm like, oh my God, my podcast has like a bunch of reviews. I didn't even know. I didn't even look. I'm like, this is important. Thank you for that. Thank you for the positivity. But it was important. It's a big deal to me that we build together. I'm so communal. I feel so Black woman right now. All right, that we build as a community. And that's one of the reasons why I'm encouraging you to share. Please share the knowledge, share the resources. I take time to put them together, and I want you to be fed, okay, and educated at the same time, okay? And I want you to laugh because I think my jokes are fun. So back to us. The reason why I want to talk about Black women billionaires from a historical context is because as Black women, and I'm speaking primarily for North American chattel slavery descendants, but I could say Black women worldwide. But I'm going to talk about my area of expertise as a scholar, as an identity theorist, as a thought leader, okay? Because Black women in North America specifically, but again, this could be worldwide, colonialism did it across the board, right? Black women, how can I say this gently, Lord? Help me say it nice. Please help me say it at least softly, a little soft. Black women, because our bodies were turned into factories to produce the free labor for the American dream. And we were sold, our children were sold, our men were sold, our mamas were sold, because the pain of the historical wound of being born as a slave in North America is rooted to capitalism, to being sold. Our relationship to money is fucked. It's just fucked, okay? And it's a whole thing with that I can't go all the way in. But my point is, I want you to understand that your relationship to money is a historical wound, okay? So given that we were sold and given that we had to produce in order to stay alive, we have a history, we have a trauma, a wound around working for money, working to stay alive, working to not get sold. to not get sold off to massa into the ugly plantation. You see what I'm saying? So everything we do around money is rooted in that we were the capital. And you need to understand that. Because if you ever feel like you're bad with money, or you have money wounds, or you have money leaks, honey, you inherited that shit. That didn't come, that wasn't you. That was us. Okay? And if you think about how much we lost because of money or commerce, or whether money of currency, whether it's tobacco, whether it's cotton, whether it's sugar cane, I don't really care the commodity, goats, horses, cows, I don't really care. All right. The bottom line is they traded that for your son. Okay. That bag of rice was your daughter. They traded that. So like there's a whole, the conflation of self and money and trade and earning and proving and making is all wrapped up in how we do money and what we allow ourselves to have. And because it's a historical wound, we don't relate to it like it is. We think it's a personality trait. And it's not. Being strong is not a character trait. It is a survival strategy that kept our ancestors alive, that got passed down generationally. And so when it comes to money, to go from money, just earning money to make it, to survive, which is how this is our historical mandate. Earn it, prove your worth, stay alive. That way of being has been with us since we got here. Okay? And so we're used to working hard. We're used to our bodies being on the line. We're used to trading our dollars for hours. We're used to, if we work a bunch of hours to pick some cotton, we'll get a meal and we won't get dead. Okay? And that got passed down generationally. So now you have a group of women, Black women, who literally, in a lot of ways, is the workhorse for the American dream. Okay? Now, the challenge with that, and I know it's problematic as hell, but the challenge is that means we're very quick to make other people rich, but not ourselves. That was preach, God. I'm gonna say it one more again, louder for the people in the back. We have been mostly rewarded for self-sacrificing, for producing without being paid for it, for making other people rich, that it doesn't occur to us that we can do the same for ourselves. So when I start speaking Black Women Billionaire, there are a number of women say to me, I never even conceived the thought. I never even saw myself like that. Okay. And that made me start thinking, well, damn, Lord, why is it that we're so easy? We take for granted that white men are billionaires, but we don't even talk about the Black women who have become billionaires. It's Women's History Month. How come we're not talking about that? How come that's not on the list along with Harriet Tubman? You know? Oh God. Or Edna Davis. How come money, Black women in money, is not right up there with, the Underground Railroad, right? And so I'm getting real loud about it, y'all. I'm getting real loud about Black Women Billionaires, because if we don't normalize it, we'll never get there. And it's very fucking doable. I'm doing it now. You watch. And my content creators, you want to jump on it now, because you want to jump on before I start formalizing. You want to be part of my first class, because I'm making it special for them. After that, it's going to get way, way rigorous, right? And so make sure you opt in for that, to be on the interest list, because that's the only way you'll find out about, you'll be able to see the updates to the actual site, different opportunity sets, how I'm flipping money 5 ways, and you can too. It's just a sweet, sweet, sweet spot for us right now, right? And so when we think about Black women billionaires, the only person that comes to mind is Oprah, at least for me. That's where I've gone. And she's the queen of all media, but she's not the only Black woman billionaire. But before I go into the other 3 that I want to talk to you about that are current, because they're historical ones that if we change their money, they will be billionaires right now, right? But I want to make sure you understand that whether you're doing 5 figures and you're committed to 6 figures, whether you're 6 figures and you're committed to multiple 6 figures, maybe multiple to 7, from 7 to 8, there is an energetic shift that has to happen within yourself to give yourself the internal permission to prosper, that gives you the internal permission to implement, that gives you the internal permission to receive. And if you don't get that done, you will not be able to go to those different dimensions in terms of wealth. Not because you can't do it, not that at all, but you won't receive it because you didn't work hard for it. You didn't slave for it. You didn't earn it or prove it or make it, overcome it. That's what we've been rewarded for. But to become a billionaire, it's a state of being. Just like millionaire is it's an energetic state. It's a shift, just like six figures. I think from 5 to 6 is the hardest shift because it's so much evidence that says you can't, right? And so what I've been really contending with is Black culture, okay? The currency, the social currency of Black culture makes white billionaires. And what they do is they take our culture, remix it, and sell it back to us. And we don't seem to notice that, right? And I'm like, okay, God, why is it that it's okay for us to have them be billionaires, but it never occurs to us to do it for ourselves? It's a real question. I mean, it's a real question for me. And I think through it, and what I realized, and I'm going to do a clubhouse on this later on this week around what the fuck is that about, specifically with women in television and film. Like we have Issa, we have Ava, we have Lena, we have Oprah, right? And I'm like, why did they hit so hard when they hit? And I actually know why. And I'll talk about it on the clubhouse. Just keep your eyes open, and I'll post an invite to that. I'm thinking I'm going to do it sometime this week because I'm genuinely interested in like, why is it that we have certain women who are hitting hard, then we have other women who don't make it out the box, and it has everything to do with the internal permission, right? So what I'm pointing to is this: if you have an aspiration to be able to fund your children's education for the next 3 generations, or you want to fund or write the check for a politician that has your interest in mind, or if you want to build a hospital in your old neighborhood, or if you want to retire your spouse, you can do that when you actually become the person who writes the check. Not the talent, not the service provider, not the help, but the owner. And in order to do that, you're going to have to grow. You have to do something different because you can't do service-based business and scale that way. You're just going to burn yourself out. But there are ways, and I'm building a way that's really accessible if you're interested. Okay, so it can be done. And when I look at these women, these 4 women that I'm going to read to you, because I want you to hear about them. Okay, I'm not going to freestyle. I want to read it to you because I want you to hear about them, just in case you don't have time to read through the resources. That they actually give me the, not so much hope, but the inspiration that this is not a big deal. They just don't talk about us like this. They talk about us as welfare moms, as single moms, as hoochie mamas, but not billionaires. And then they go through, and my experiences, I feel as if they go out of their way to make sure I remember how little they think of me, as if their opinion fucking matters. So I'm nullifying whiteness on me across the board, y'all. I'm just, I'm like, you know what? Not a problem. Y'all do y'all. I got to take care of my people. So with that being said, these 4 women, and to be fair, they have other support structures, whether they were born into wealth, whether they were born into position, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't think it's a bad thing, quite frankly. I'm okay with that. It lets me know it can be done. But the thing that I want you to be clear on is even if you're born into something, if you don't know your worth, you'll squander it. Have you ever met somebody who got won a lottery, and within 2 years they were more broke than they were before they had won the lottery? It's the same thing with wealth, the same thing with money. If you don't think you deserve it, you'll find a way to squander it, okay? But if you actually understand that you are a child of God, that you are God's daughter, and that you were born for, you have a destiny that requires resource for you to do what is yours to do. That's a different relationship to it. It's not about the money. It's about the freedom and the power, the power or the ability to actually do things you can't do without it. But you need to have your own highway. You need to be on a platform that you control. And all of these women control their platforms. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to read you about the 4 that I found that are current. Okay, and I did list some. I listed. I posted some resources, not just billionaires in terms of money, but billionaires in terms of reach. And I also have some billionaire black men, so you can see the brothers are doing it too. Okay, and so what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with and here's the thing: most of the every black woman billionaire that I found so far, all of them were in Africa, besides for Oprah. I'm like, that's so dope. I love my people. So Nagina Kenita, her net worth is 1 billion. Her industry is diversified business, and the country she resides in is Kenya. She's one of the richest black billionaires in the world. Nagina Kenyatta is widely recognized as the widow of the first Kenyan president, Jomo Kenyatta, having made investments in banking, hospitality, real estate, and manufacturing sectors. It's not surprising that the former First Lady of Kenya has an estimated net worth of 1 billion. And I said net, okay? She is in charge of her family's vast business empire that branches out into real estate, hospitality, and more. The Kenyatta family owns thousands of acres of prime land in Kenya. They also have stakes in the largest dairy company in the country, Brookside Dairy, Commercial Bank of Africa, and the Heritage Hotel. Nagina Kenyatta also owns ranches, plantations, and hotels in Kenya and is regarded as the richest woman in the country. Okay, so that's one. So we got Kenya on one. And then we have Nigeria. And this is Fol Oyun Show Ala Kaja. Net worth 1 billion, industry diversified business, source the Rose of Sharon Group, Familiar Oil Limited, country, Nigeria. Okay. Okay, so Fo Ora Show, I'm saying it wrong, so forgive me, is one of the richest black women in the world as she sits on a net worth of 1 billion. She's a renowned Nigerian businesswoman who has established herself in the oil, printing, real estate, and fashion industries. She works as the managing director of the Rose of Sharon Group that comprises Digital Reality Prints Limited and the Rose of Sharon Prints and Promotional Limited. She also serves as executive vice chairman of Fama Oil Limited. Before becoming a household name, Al-Kaja first worked as the secretary at Sujade Enterprises and also as the First National Bank of Chicago that later changed to Finbank. She has increased her net worth over the years with her earnings as a major stockholder at Dayspring Property Development Company. Okay. And then we have, so that's our two. And then we have two more. I just want to get to it. I'm going through all the men right now. Okay, this is Isabel Dos Sentos. Her net worth is 1.7 billion. Her industry is banking and investments. The source of it is Unitel International Holdings, Santoro Finances, Esperanza Holding, and she resides in she resides in the United Arab Emirates. Okay, the richest woman in Africa, Isabel Dos Sentos, is an Gorlan. I know it's Angolan billionaire businesswoman who is also famous as the eldest child of the former Angolan president, Jose I'm saying it wrong, Eduardo dos Santos. She made the vast of her wealth by purchasing stocks in companies based in Angola. She has occupied management positions in multiple companies listed on European Stock Exchange for over a decade and a half. Okay. From June 2016 to November 2017, Isabel served as the head of Angola state oil firm, Senegal, as she was appointed to the position by her father, who stepped down as the president of Angola in the fall of 2017. Besides having stakes in Angolan companies, the widely known businesswoman is also a shareholder in Portuguese companies such as Nos SGPS, a telecom company. She also serves as the owner of multiple holdings such as United International Holdings, Esperanza Holding, and Trans African Investment Services. Now, this is the thing. She's a badass, right? Now she's also there's been some controversy around her because people didn't like how she does her money in terms of they thought that she did stuff with military things, and I don't really care. Okay, I'm not measuring that. I'm measuring her net worth, and I'm measuring that that's what she does. And I'm not going to take that from her because people don't like how she did it. Okay, so I want you to know that. And then we have Oprah. Net worth 2.6 billion. Her industry is media. Source Harpo Productions, Oprah Winfrey Network. The country she resides in is the United States. Dubbed the queen of all media, Oprah Winfrey has been making impressive waves in the entertainment industry for more than 4 decades now. The popular talk show host, TV producer, actress, and philanthropist is considered the wealthiest African American of the 20th century. She gained international recognition as the host of a highly rated talk show that went into syndication in 1986 and ran for 25 years. She launched her own company, Oprah Winfrey Network, in 2008 and has been serving as the chairman, CEO, and CCO of the company since 2011. Also, the media magnate is magnate is the chairwoman and chief executive officer of Harpo Production. She has been recognized with numerous accolades throughout her career. They include the Presidential Medal of Freedom, 18 Daytime Emmy Awards, 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, and Jean Holtz Humanitarian Award. Okay? So those are the 4 billionaires that I was able to locate now. And the thing that I want to articulate about them is I love the diversity of how they did their money. And not one of them is in digital technology. Not one of them is in apps and technology, which I'm moving into. So I'm feeling really confident about myself, right? And I love that each one of them, they have more than one way that they're skinning a cat, right? It's in the same house. Like Oprah does all her stuff in some kind of media. But Isabel, she's doing her stuff in terms of investments. You know what I'm saying? And so, okay, God, all right. And there's some real estate going on in there. Like, so the thing that I'm present to is Black women can do anything. And we have. And we've done it historically. And we're reliable on being able to make money, right? We this is what we do. Now we need to do it for ourselves, but we are reliable on monetizing, right? And it's just very encouraging to read about them, to hear about them. It makes me feel better. I don't want to hear a narrative about how Black women have been beat down and how, and I know we've been beat down. I know, yeah. But what about where we lifted up? What about when we've won? There's this one young baby girl I want to talk to you about real quick, and then I'm gonna stop. There was a Black woman. Oh God, and she was. Oh God, I'm just gonna find it real quick. God, let me have it, please. Let me have it. Okay, and her name is Sarah. I'm gonna say it. I want to say it right. Her name is Sarah Rector. Okay, this chick, and we're talking in 1913, 11-year-old baby girl, Black baby girl, was the richest person in America, right? And the thing is, it was because of the land that her family had owned, and her father had sold some of it out to pay off the taxes, right? But then the white guy, he found oil on the land, and it was under her name, right? And so, white people do white people stuff. But the point is, she was born in 1902. Okay, and by the age of 11, she was the wealthiest Black girl in the nation. But we never hear about her. I didn't know about this chick until I started looking at billionaires. You understand? Like, how come that's not in the history book? I'm even a Black history book. We don't it's okay for Black women to have money. We need to have our own money anyway. But how come we don't hear about Black women billionaires, Black women making money? I mean, and I'm not saying we don't hear about Oprah, but I'm thinking historically, I want to know about myself. I want to feel good about being a Black woman. I don't want to feel like I overcame all the time. I'm not opposed to a good fight, okay? But there is something to be said about we've already won. And how come we don't talk about that? How come I gotta go look it up? You know what I mean? And I mean, like, even in Black history books, we don't talk about money. We just go for the obvious ones. And we think George Washington Carver did the fucking peanut. He did so much more. So it's a big deal to me that in Women's History Month, that we look for ways that we've won as Black women. It's encouraging to me. I don't know how y'all do, but I need to be fed. I need to know that my ancestors were not punk asses. You know what I'm saying? That we weren't just laying around taking it and like, nobody knows. I mean, yeah, we did that too. I still do it. But I'm willing to do what it takes to win and to have us win. And our people have always been that way. But we don't talk about us like that. We talk about us like overcoming. We don't talk about, oh, we were already wealthy. There were seasons where Black people had money and land. Now, to be fair, white people show their ass and they did what they do. They either block or burn. We know. And we still did that shit. Okay? So it's important to me that at least on my platform, on my watch, we celebrate us for all the things that we do in all our complexity. I mean, literally in the complexity of who we are, and celebrate that we're not Oprah. She's not the first, you know what I'm saying, and she won't be the last, right? But we don't talk about it like it's normal. We talk about it like it's an exception, and you're not an exception, sis. You're an original, and you need to know that. You need to know that you come from a history and a lineage of women who kicked ass and took names. And it's your divine right, your birthright to soar. And it matters to have your own money and your own platform, your own highways, or at least ones that honor your values, so you can do God's work, whatever that looks like. And I don't care how you do it, but if you're with me, I'm clear you have a destiny and you have something you want to do in the world, and it requires capital. And I'm not willing to sharecrop no more with white motherfuckers. They always gyp us, in my experience and historically. So I would much rather, bet on us than trust them. I don't trust white people anymore. That trust has been broken and is unrecoverable. And I'm not talking about my allies who are white. I'm talking about white people. I'm talking about white privilege, white supremacy, when they throw us under the bus for their self-interest. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'll take my time and I'll cultivate a whole community of Black women billionaires instead of taking out a loan, instead of doing angel investors, instead of doing grant writing or minority owned business. I don't want to answer to anybody. Our ancestors didn't do that when they couldn't. And I'm talking about the ones who actually built their own. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm just very clear that white supremacy is not going to help us. And I'm also very, very clear that artificial intelligence is going to kick in about 7 to 10 years. And a lot of the jobs that Black people have, we won't have them anymore. And if we don't start thinking, how do we make our money digitally, we're going to be in a caste system. And there's nothing, I'm not going to wait until it happens for us to feel it. I'm getting ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Black women are hot now. I'm striking while the iron's hot. So it matters that we celebrate Black women billionaires. It matters that we celebrate Black women who make their own way, who have their own money. And that doesn't say anything about bad Black men or Black couples. I'm not saying that. But somebody has to write the fucking check. Somebody has to write the check. And why not you? Why not? Why not have you be the one who writes the check? I say, as a Black woman, you're already feeding people. Why not make it easy on yourself? You're going to feed them anyway. So why don't you write the check on your own, your way, your terms, your voice? And we can do that with technology. We can take the content and put it in a format that reaches millions and millions and billions of people in their pockets. That naturally drops the price point down because of distribution. Instead of doing one-offs or doing group programs online, or creating a piece of work and hoping someone picks you when they have a bunch of other people they can choose from that they already know, it doesn't make sense to keep doing the same stuff and expecting white people to do different by us. So I'm not doing it. I'm on the hunt for evidence and proof that Black women, when we have our own money and we work together, we transform the world. I'm not leaving anybody out. I'm not angry. I'm passionate as fuck, okay? And I'm hurt by white people because I thought my feelings got hurt because I thought when we were protesting, we were on the same team. I was wrong, because the vote told me 56% of white women said, oh, hell no. I got my privilege. I'm comfortable. You can do it your damn self. So I got the message. I got it. Okay, Jesus, not a problem. So I'm very committed that we get the billionaire is not a big deal. And when we do it together, it's very doable. And I have a plan for that. If you want to find out about that, then make sure you sign up for the app interest form. The link is around here somewhere. And follow me and show up when the time comes, because when I do another reveal, another show and tell of the updates to the app, I will make another offer. And when I do that, You want to be on the front line because the offer will change. It will go up. It's going to get, it's just going to go up, y'all. So jump in early. The sooner you jump in, the better rate you get. And I want to build something with you. I've already bankrolled my startup. It's already paid for. That's not a problem. What's most important is I wanted to build something that actually has it be not me but we. And I have equity partnerships in there. I have content stuff. I have an opportunity for influencers to leverage their platforms that are engaged for Black women, because I want us to have our own, so we can actually be the people who make the choice, who makes the call, and not have to adapt our voice or our intent to accommodate other people's concerns. So when I look at these women, these four Black women billionaires, I know I know that if they can, we can. Okay, sis? Okay, beloveds, this is Dr. Venus, your hot mess millionaire. Know that you love me on all measures, my sweet sister in success, and the brothers who love us and our allies. Please remember this and know that you are God wrapped in flesh. You are the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. You are the one we've been waiting for. You're the answer to millions and millions of people's prayers, and it is a gift and an honor to walk with you. I'm Dr. Venus, your hot mess millionaire. I love you, sis. Goodbye for now.